y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is KIARA. I'm a mom to 3 little girls. I make videos about laundry motivation, cleaning motivation, and grocery hauls. So if you like videos like that, I hope that you would consider subscribing. It is Vlogmas day 4. So you guys are going to be getting some sit-down videos about different situations that I went through, so that way you guys can get to know me a little bit better. So I'm doing these type of videos. Number one, like I said, so you guys can get to know me better, but I'm going to be working a whole lot of overtime around the holidays. So I want to do Vlogmas. So I wanted to make sure I had content for you guys every day up until Christmas. So today's video is going to be the story time. I'm telling you guys is going to be me losing my father. So backstory of my life. My parents were married before I was born, and it was a lot of infidelity. I'm just gonna put it like that. My dad was doing a lot of infidelity, and my mom sort of, you know, forgave and everything, and they ended up staying together throughout me, you know, from the time I was born up until the day he passed. So my dad was sort of in and out of my life because, like I said, he was out, you know, being with other women. So he's pretty much put the other women before me and my mom. And for years I used to hate that so much, because I used to feel like, you know, well, why is this woman so important? Why can't you just be at home with me and my mom? So from the time I was like, I want to say about 6 to the time I was 10, I think that's around elementary school age or whatever, my dad used to pop in and out of my life. He would be there for a little while, and then he would disappear. I'm not gonna cry. Once I got in middle school, I had learned, you know, if he came back, y'all, this is hard. When I got in middle school, I told myself, if he came back, don't expect for him to stay long. You know, this is just one of his little phases he going through. And sure enough, like when I got in middle school, like he was there, you know. He stayed there, I want to say, from the time I was in 6th grade up until the time I was in 8th grade. And then once I hit high school, he disappeared again. So it was devastating. So devastating, because I had put that wall up thinking, nope, I'm not gonna get hurt no more. I'm not gonna get hurt anymore. And then he disappeared again. And then this time it was like for a long time. And I watched my mom struggle to keep a roof over my head, well, over our head. And you know, once I was in middle school and everything, my mom would look to me as, you know, her comfort zone. Like, we leaned on each other. Like, when it was time for my prom and stuff to come around, like, you know, my dad wasn't there. So I told my mom, you know, no, I would rather not go to prom. I'd rather you save that money. You know, you're going to spend $200 on a dress and $100 on some shoes, and then $60 to get my hair done, $50 for my nails, $40 for my feet, and all of that. Like, there's just no point, just save the money. And my mom, she was telling me, you know, it's a special day, it's a special day. Just go ahead and go to your prom. But I told her no, like, priorities came first. And y'all was like 17 saying this to my mom. So once I turned 18, I was getting ready to graduate high school, and my dad had showed back up again at this point, and I still hadn't forgave him. I still had a lot of hurt and animosity towards him. I was even like telling my mom and stuff like, you know, I didn't want him to come to my graduation because he wasn't at my elementary school graduation. He wasn't at my middle school graduation. So why are you here? That's just how I felt. And I'm just being honest. And my mama said, Key, just let him be there. Just let him be there. That's what my mama called me. She called me Key. And, you know, I sucked it up and I let him be there, whatever. But I still hadn't forgave him. I still had so much hurt and anger towards him. Now, when I turned 19, I ended up finding out I was pregnant. And once I got pregnant with NYLAH, at that point, it made me realize, you know, I'm about to be a mom. He's about to see me become a mom for the very first time. So I need to just suck it up and sit down and talk to him. And I want to forgive him because I want him to be a part of his grandchild's life. And I want me and him to just start our relationship fresh. So we sat down, we talked, and we started our relationship over. Now, fast forward now, like I told you, that was 20... I was 19. I was 19, so that was 20... NYLAH was born in 2015. Yeah, so that was 2014 when I, you know, forgave him. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I had NYLAH in 2015. Okay, so fast forward, he's being a, you know, great granddad or whatever, and me and his relationship is fine. Now, March 2018... one of the hardest months of my life. Hardest months of my life. Whew. So, I'm going to say the week of March 20th, 2018. I'm just going to say that's where it started. That Monday, I had a doctor's appointment because something just wasn't right. You know, I was throwing up. I was extra tired and my face and stuff was breaking out. And I was just thinking, you know, it's contributed to stress or whatever. So I went to the doctor and I told my doctor about it. She was like, well, the symptoms you're telling me means you might be pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I haven't really been doing anything. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. So she said, well, just pee in a cup and we'll see if you're pregnant. So I peed in the cup and she came back in the room and said, yeah, you're pregnant. And I was completely shocked. But when we went to go do the vaginal ultrasound, because they wanted to figure out how far along I was, they noticed that I was spotting. And she told me what I had was, hold on, it's on my computer, subchronic hematoma. And that was what was causing the bleeding. And she told me that it was a 50-50 chance that I could keep or lose my baby. So I found that out. Now the very next, I'm gonna do a whole nother story time on the subchronic hematoma. I'm gonna do a whole nother story time about that, but I'm just telling you guys this as to let you know what all happened in this 1 week. So that was Monday. Tuesday, I get a phone call 3 o'clock in the afternoon that my mom is in the hospital. And I'm like, what is going on? Y'all, my mom is my everything. She is my everything. She's my best friend. She's my rock. You know, when you in high school and you would be like, people ask you, you know, your teacher asks you, who's your role model? My mom is my role model. I wanted to be just like her. She did whatever she had to do to provide for her children. Never complained. She made sure she did what she had to do. So I find out she's in the hospital, and y'all, stress can really put you in the hospital. That's exactly what happened. She was so stressed out from the situation with my dad, her job and everything. She was completely stressed out. And it landed her in the hospital. But luckily, it was like, you know, she just needed to take a few days off. She needs to relax, not stress or anything like that. Now, that was Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I wake up. Now, y'all remember I told you I found out Monday that I was pregnant. Now, you know, it seemed like once you find out you're pregnant, all your pregnancy symptoms like kick in right away, like right after you find out. So Wednesday morning I wake up, I got several missed calls. several voicemails. One text message saying, when you wake up, call me. So I called my mama. She didn't answer the phone. So I called my aunt. And my aunt was like, put my baby daddy on the phone. And my baby daddy was listening. And I could just tell from the look on his face, like, yes, something was wrong. So I'm thinking that it's my mom because she's the one that was just in the hospital. So I'm thinking it's my mom that's in the hospital. But my baby daddy, like, we just need to get to the hospital now. We need to get to MCV right away. And I'm like, what's going on? He was like, I was told not to tell you what's going on. I'm like, just tell me what's going on. He was like, just come on, get dressed. We need to go to the hospital. So at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm panicking. So y'all, we go to the ICU floor. My mom meets me and she like, I need you to come in the back. And as we're walking, she's like, your dad fell out. He lost oxygen to his brain. So when I hear lost oxygen to his brain, I'm thinking, okay, he's probably brain dead. So she walks me into the room, and I will never ever forget this image. I'll never forget it. I walk into the room and I see all of these wires sticking out of his head. And I guess they didn't have him stable to the point, like his body was jumping. His eyes was rolling in the back of his head and his body was jumping. I broke down immediately when I saw it. And my sister grabbed me because she knew I was pregnant. I told her I was pregnant. I didn't tell anybody else just yet. So my sister grabbed me and she was like, breathe, breathe, sit down, sit down. And one of the doctors walked up to me and was like, you need some water? Because I guess my sister must have told the nurse, like, yeah, she's like early on pregnant or whatever. So while we there, I'm trying to figure out, well, what happened? Because he wasn't at my mom's house when all of this stuff went down. So my mom was like, well, why don't you just go in there and talk to your dad, you know, say what you want to say to him or whatever. So my mom left, told everybody to clear the room and everything. So I went in there and I held his hand and I was like, Dad, I hate to see you like this. I hope you know that I love you and I forgive you for everything that happened. And then, of course, I told him that he was going to be a granddad again. So we walk out the room. My mom like, let's, you know, take something. They try to give us doctor's notes and stuff, you know, to take to work with her. But my job don't accept doctor's notes. So I just had to use my time. So she was like, we'll go home and I'll just keep you updated on what's going on. So Friday comes and she's like, they're going to take him off of the ventilator. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell y'all, he was on the ventilator with the wires and stuff in his head. He was on life support. That's the word. He was on life support. So like I said, when I told y'all when he lost oxygen to his brain, I'm like, yeah, he's probably already brain dead. So they was pretty much telling me and my mom, like, if he survived, you know, he's going to be in a state of a vegetable. He's going to need 24-hour care and everything like that. So this is about like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. So we're in the room, man. My mom's standing right next to me. She's standing by his head and I'm standing beside her. And then my aunts are on the other side of the bed. And my brother that's on my dad's side was standing at the other side of him, the right side of him, at his head. I should have been standing at his head. I wasn't thinking. I just want to be by my mom. So they cut the life support machine off and they cut the monitor down, you know, the heart rate monitor. So if it started beeping rapidly, then it wouldn't, you know, sound so alarming. So they took him off and he opened up his eyes and he actually turned his head and he looked directly at my mama. He didn't say anything, but he just stared at my mom. And so the monitor was flashing red, like you could just see like his heart rate was dropping. You could just see it going down. So at this point, I'm not like dramatic, but I just got tears rolling down my face because I'm like, yeah, he getting ready to pass. So he just sat there, he just stared at my mama. He didn't say anything, but he stared at my mama. It was like he was trying to me it seemed like he was trying to say, everything's gonna be all right, I'm just going home. That's what I took from that moment. And then after that, I heard my aunt say his eyes closed. My aunt said he was gone. And then once I heard my aunt say he was gone, I fell. I fell. And then my mama grabbed me, and my mama was trying to be strong for me, and I was like, no, he can't go, he can't go, he can't go. And my mama was holding on me saying, it's gonna be okay, baby, it's gonna be okay, because she was crying too. And the doctors and stuff walked out and was like, we gonna give y'all a few minutes to be alone with him or whatever. It was hard. Prior to this happening, we found out that my dad had colon cancer, and he had it for 2 years and he didn't know about it. He had just found out recently, and he had the surgery and stuff. And surgery, he went through chemo, and it was gone. He went through chemo, it was gone. Then like a couple months before this happened, he had to get a stent put in his heart. It's similar to a pacemaker. They had to put that in his heart because both my mom and my dad both have irregular heartbeats. So they put the stent, I think it's called a stent. Don't quote me on what it's called, but it's like a pacemaker. They put that in his heart. And it's so crazy that he was supposed to go in for surgery that Friday because they had found a little spot of cancer near his liver. He's supposed to go in for surgery that Friday, and he passed on Friday. It's crazy because he called me Wednesday and I didn't answer the phone because I was mad. I was like, you know, my mama in the hospital because of you stressing her out. I didn't answer, but luckily enough, he had left me a voicemail. He was like, call your daddy, I love you. And for a while, I had beat myself up about it because I was like, that could have been my last moment to spend time with him. But I wasn't thinking that, you know, he was going to pass. I wasn't thinking that. So for a while, I beat myself up about it, but I still have that voicemail in my phone to this day. Like, you know, when you lose somebody, it's hard. It's hard when you lose somebody, but when you lose them unexpectedly, it's just like 10 times worse. 10 times worse. Like, I didn't think that he was gonna die so soon. Like, it was just out of the blue. And then, like, I started thinking in my mind, like, well, maybe it was that, you know, that pacemaker thing that they put in his chest that caused this, or, you know, changing his medication. Maybe this caused this, you know, thinking of, you know, malpractice or whatever. I just, it's still hard to this day. Like, you know, you don't want that to be the last, one of the last memories that you have of them. But one thing I can say is that I'm glad that I did forgive him when I did, because who would have known 2 years later he was going to be gone. So now it's like almost 4 years later since he passed. So things are a little bit easier, but I still have my moments where I'm like, especially like when I'm going through something, like I just wish I could just give him a hug and he just tell me everything is gonna be okay like he used to. So if, you know, if you had, you know, issues with, you know, one of your parents or whatever, like, man, life is short. Life is short, you know, nobody's perfect. And I don't think they mean to do harm to us, like our parents and stuff. I just think they just be thinking about themselves. And then as they get older, they realize, like, dang, that wasn't right. I shouldn't have done that. So if you still got your parents, man, be lucky. You lucky. Be thankful that you still got them, because a lot of people wish that they still had their parents here. And if they hurt you, find a way to forgive them. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because I told y'all it took for me to get pregnant with my first child. I was 19 years old when I finally decided to let go of all that hurt and pain that he put me and my mom through. Not only hurting for me, I was hurting for my mom too. All that hurt and pain that he put us through. But I'm glad I forgave him, and I do have, you know, good memories of me and him together. So like I said, if you got a bad relationship with your parents because they did you wrong, if they trying to make amends, just try. Yeah, I'm not saying you gotta forgive them right away, but try to make amends, because once they gone, they gone. You can't turn around and say, hey, can we talk about this? Can we fix this? Can we do this? Can we do that? It's too late. They gone. They are gone. So that's the end of this story time. My dad passing. So I hope this video helps someone out there that comes across it. Thank y'all for listening. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see y'all in my next one.